I'm on my way to Tata Beach to do a bush bash up a hill that I've been meaning to do for the last 6 weeks. I work in a building site at Tata Beach, and I'll stop there to have a clear view of the hill and plan out my best route. So here is my building site. This is where I work during the week, and I'm going to climb up on that scaffolding over there so I can get a clear view of the hill. There you go. I'm at the scaffolding. Beautiful place to work. And right here is the hill that I'm going to bush bash up. And I imagine I'm going to drive up to this point up here on the road and then walk up the spine there. And here's the Tata Islands. That's Motu Islands, and that's Ngāwhiti Islands. So here we are. Right here, there's a track that will take me part way up the hill to the lookout, and I'll see if I can continue bush bashing further up that track to get me to the top of the hill. So this is as far as the walkway will take me up the hill, just to this little lookout. You can still see my building site from here. So I'm going to attempt to start my bush bash from behind the lookout and head up this way and see if I can make my way to the top of the hill through there. So this may be the quicker way up the hill, but as expected, it's definitely the steepest. You can go out there past the islands and go for a fish off the rocks or off your boat, and you can catch snapper, gurnards, kahawai, or kingfish if you're lucky. Come off. There also seems to be somewhat of a track up here. Not an official track, but it looks like other bush bashers have come up here before. Right, we're getting into Kānuka forest, which makes me think the top of the hill's not far, because I know the top of the hill is patched with Kānuka. That's this tree right here. And there's the road off there in the distance that I was gonna park at, then walk from there. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful. So there's the two Tata Islands. There's Motu Islands, which translates to islands, because Motu in Māori just means islands. And there's Ngāwhiti Islands. In the 1930s, a Norwegian lived on that island for a little bit. So it's already a beautiful view from just this point up the hill. And I just have to go up that last little bit. It's not very far. I'm puffed. So it turns out that I've been walking on a bit of a trapping track. You see the track here? And here's a trap. They set an egg in there. They're out to catch rats, stoats, weasels, ferrets, and possums, but a possum wouldn't fit in here. I can't say for sure, but I feel like I'm at the top of the hill because I can't see any point that are higher. So I'm just going to the edge that points out over Tata Beach to get a nice view, if I can even find one. So yep, I think it's the top of the hill. And I can see Wainui off in the distance behind me. And there's a private property sign right here. There's Wainui off in the distance. And that's the start of the Abel Tasman National Park track, right over there. And then behind me on the other side is Tata. But I can't quite get a view unless I climb one of these trees. I'll try and climb this kānuka right here. So I'm up the tree. I've got a nice view down. I can see jet skis down there. And I can see Tata Beach down there in the distance. I'll walk a bit further down this trapping track and see what I can find. I imagine this track is going to eventually take me to someone's property or to someone's house, but I'll cross that bridge when it comes. I reckon I'm going to keep going this way up the hill. Aha, there's a weather station. Well, I think there's a weather station. Beautiful view from up here, man. No, it's not a weather station. It's like a marker for the top of the hill or something. Wow, it's beautiful up here. There's quite a few different routes I can take. I can go down that hill. I can continue that way. Or take that third track that was off to my right earlier. Yeah, I might ponder down here for a little bit and see where it takes me. Here's a cabbage tree. When I was a kid, I was made to believe by my friend that these got up in the night and they walked around like zombies and they killed humans. And I was always afraid of cabbage trees and only grew out of that phobia when I was like a teenager, really. More traps and more tracks. I can go right, or I can go left. I'm gonna go left and continue down the hill, see where it takes me. Ah, more tracks, bugger. To my right or to my left? I think these are all trapping tracks, to be honest. I'm gonna go this way. It looks just like you're walking in the Abel Tasman National Park, really. Oh, and there's the islands down there. You can see a kayaker down there. Now we're going up again. I predict this track's going to take me in a big circle, to be honest. Here we are, just like I thought. That track took me in a big circle. Oh. Okay, I'm back here with the thing I thought was a weather station. So I went that way before down the hill. So I'm going to try this way, see where it takes me. No way, I just found a lookout spot. No way. Wow. That's a beautiful view. Aha, I think I found the property owner whose house is right there. I'll continue along the track and see if it takes me off in a different direction. Well, here's the road that leads to his house. So I'll continue along his road away from his house and see where it takes me. So the gravel drive will take me that way back to the main road, but there's a track right here, so I'm gonna try this one out. I think this track just spits me back on the road. Yep, it does too. Beautiful driveway. Down there is the mussel farms. All those big mussel boys. Here we are back at the road. I've actually been to this exact spot before one time with my friend. When we were coming up this hill here in his Corolla, it broke down and we pulled over here. So I'm walking back down the road to where I parked my car. Here's a good view of where I went. So I started down there by those houses where I parked my car, and I walked up to the lookout, which is about there, not so far up. Then I bush bashed up the spine of this hill here, all the way to the top, right there. And that's the lookout. And then further over here is where I found the tracks, which took me off in multitudes of directions. You know, came along here, down that road. And now I'm coming down this road, back to where I parked. All done and dusted. Now I've grabbed my togs and my towel and I'm going for a swim because it's really, really hot. Super high tide today. Real nice. I'm all done with my swim and my walk. It's lunchtime now and I'm just heading up to my mate's and see what he's doing. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.